We tend to give all of those things to other people, our time, our money, and our energy. We as women need to learn how to invest those things in ourselves, and then we'll have so much more to give.
Without Fear of Her Future podcast is for women who are passionately pursuing financial freedom using multiple streams of income and real estate to accomplish their goals. We are here to empower you to be brave, dream big, and design a life that you love that inspires others to do the same. I'm your co-host, Andrea Engstrom, a real estate investor and business coach and co-founder of the Partnership for Realtors. And I'm here with my co-host, Tresa Todd, founder of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and author of the book, Without Fear of Her Future. Over the past 2 years, Tresa has had nearly 200,000 join her masterclass, where she teaches women how to become successful real estate investors.
Well, I am so excited, Andrea. I am super excited about our guest today, Gigi, who runs a very successful business, began flipping houses, and still is able to pick her son up from school every day. So she is going to share with us how to be a successful businesswoman and still run a family like a boss. So Gigi, tell us where you're coming from.
I'm in Central Texas. I'm in Georgetown, which is a little north of Austin, a little south of Dallas. So great place to be.
Well, tell us when you started your business and what exactly do you do?
Okay. So in 2000, I started Kinsey Interiors, and I had worked for 9 years in a corporation in Round Rock. And I just simply could not take the four walls of an office anymore. And I thought I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I quit and had a nice summer with my kids. And then school started. And my daughter was my youngest, and she was in middle school. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I started faux finishing my house, and I glazed everything I could get my hands on. And then I made window treatments. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. So one thing led to another, and I started doing things for other people. I started my business, and a year later, I opened a storefront, and that was in 2001. So that's how I got started.
Wow. And it has grown. You are doing all kinds of things now. Tell us what you're doing now in that business.
So we moved sort of out of the retail store and out of the just decorating type things when the recession hit in 2008 and 9, 10. No one spent money on that, but they were remodeling because they couldn't sell their homes. So I didn't want to go out of business. I didn't want to, fold. So I just switched gears 100% and went into remodeling. I had worked with general contractors as their designer. I decided, girl, you are leaving money on the table. You need to be the general contractor. So that's how that started. And I started with bathroom remodels, added kitchens, and now have a huge team, and we do all interior remodeling.
That is awesome. Nothing stops you. You are a problem solver. You see a problem, you just solve it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, on top of all of that, then about a year ago, you decided you were going to also be a real estate investor. Well, tell us how that journey is going.
Well, it's going great. Absolutely. I've always loved investing in real estate, but I wasn't doing it the right way. And so when I saw your ad about the masterclass, I knew I had to do that because I really, really wanted to flip houses. And it just made sense for me to flip houses. So we took the masterclass and immediately knew that the mentorship was something that I had to do. If I wanted to do this right and I wanted to do it well and quickly have success, I knew I had to do that mentorship.
So Gigi, you and I got into investing right at the same time, joined that masterclass. So for you, tell us, what has been your greatest challenge as an investor?
Okay, I want to do everything. I'm one of those, I see, I like that and that and that. And there's so many strategies you can take in real estate. Once you get rolling and all these offers and opportunities start coming your way, you can be so bogged down with trying to figure so many, check every deal and figure out where am I going? So that was my biggest challenge, was narrowing down. What am I going to focus on? What am I going to focus on this year? What am I going to focus on maybe 5 years from now? But right now, like, what is my buy box? So I don't have to be distracted with everything that comes across my path. I can just focus on what I want. And I did that. We were able to say, this is our minimum profit we're looking for. We started off saying it was going to be flips. We immediately, halfway through the year, turned to buy and holds. So now we're very clear, probably a couple of flips a year. Building up our portfolio is our focus now.
Yeah, you and I have that FOMO, that fear of missing out, and it's so hard to let what feels like a good deal pass on. And I think one of the things that we've talked about, that we've learned, is that sometimes you have to say no to good to be able to make room for great. And if we keep doing the good things, sometimes we miss out on a bigger blessing or something that could be truly great, because we're all tied up in wanting to not miss out on a deal.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Tell us, what's been the most rewarding part of being an investor for you?
Okay. Lots of rewards. The REIN, the network, the women, huge reward. The people in the community that I've met through this, I love it. But I'm going to tell you that this has bonded Doug and I, my husband, because he loves it as much as I do. So while he's busy running our plumbing company and I'm busy running our remodel company, we do this together and we get excited together. We throw our son in the back seat and make him go over to the house and do things with us too. He's not as excited, but he is learning. He is learning whether he wants to learn it or not. And so it's a family event, and that is what I'm most excited about.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so in this industry, we love to talk about the numbers. And so I want our listeners to get an idea of what is possible with real estate investing. So do you mind just like sharing just in this past year, what are the numbers for Gigi Kinsey?
Well, so we flipped 4 houses in the first year, and we made a little over $200,000 in final profit off of those houses.
Awesome.
Yes. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Amazing. I mean, I just
very
want
happy
to hear that. 4 houses, your very first year, and which you had some background in design, so that, you had a little bit of a leap there. So that's amazing. But a $200,000 profit just off of those 4 properties. That's amazing.
Right. And we're talking, lower to mid range flips. We haven't even gotten into the big numbers yet. And they were doable. All of them. It was just very doable. So we did that. And then we currently have 8 buy and holds. So we acquired 7 of them this year. So I mean, absolutely. Our net worth went up a little bit.
Yes, it did. That is amazing. That is what is possible in 1 year.
1 year.
And you've kept your family in balance.
Absolutely. We have some non-negotiables.
Oh, I love that term, non-negotiables. Tell us more about that. What's that mean?
Well, and it's a new term. It's not a new term, but it's a new term I'm using. I just fell in love with it because someone else said it. But here's my deal. I believe in time blocking, time management. Otherwise, I can't do everything that I need to do. I just discovered that term, though, non-negotiable. And so when I did that, it made a huge difference. So what my non-negotiables are is, first of all, we're all early risers in my house. I'm the only one who doesn't want to be an early riser, but I am. But so Doug and I get up at 5 o'clock every morning and we drink coffee and we talk. And that's when we just, whatever we need to talk about, it can either be yucky stuff about the schedule of the day, or it can be really good, deep stuff. That's our time. And after that, Levi's up. They leave to go to school around 7:15, 7:30. So I don't have a long time with Levi in the morning. So my goal is that he leaves with a happy, positive, feeling. And I'm not the crazy mama. Where are your shoes? Get your teeth brushed. Where's your soap? Did you not do your homework? I really work and making that a nice, pleasant morning. We get him out the door. So now I got my husband taken care of. I got my son taken care of. And those are non-negotiables, but the big non-negotiable is then my Bible, my prayer, my journaling, which Tresa turned me on to and I fell in love with. That happens 7 days a week. And it is the whole difference in what my day looks like moving forward. The rest of my day is time blocked out and scheduled and prioritized. But I have to have those things to start off with a good day.
The foundation. I absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So what has been the key to maintaining your balance, it sounds like, is that just starting the day off, putting God first, putting your family, and then you're ready to say, okay, now let's take on this business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, guys, you have to delegate. You have to delegate. You can't run multiple businesses and still be there at 3:00 picking your son up from school if you're doing it all. There's no way. There's no super woman that can actually do that. You have to have people. And I've surrounded myself not only with an amazing team of people here at Kinsey Interiors, but my husband is a great partner in this. My mom and dad live in a house right next door to us, and they're part of our family dynamic of making sure all of this happens. So yeah, I have a lot of help. And again, picking Levi up from school, non-negotiable, either me or Doug. One of us picks him up every day because we have the gymnastics issues we've got to get into. So one of us is on that.
Mm-hmm. Gigi, what has been one of the most difficult things for you to delegate? Because I know all of us as women, it is sometimes really hard to let things go. So for you this last year, you've kind of ramped up your investing and your business has even grown. So what was the hardest thing for you to let go of in order to balance it all?
Well, I will say I actually started the delegating quite some time ago, and that was very helpful. When I think in my business was when I finally said, I'm not going to be a designer out in the field anymore. I had a couple of really good designers, and I said, guys, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to work on my business, not in my business. And they did beautiful. And we now have another designer. And so that in my business was my big thing, letting other people take over. But in the investing, Andrea, we've talked about it before, sometimes it's just the organizing things for me and the stacks of paperwork that come with the real estate business that I've had some trouble delegating. And I'm still working on that, to be honest. That's very difficult because you have to spend time teaching somebody before you can just hand it over. And it seems easier to just do it yourself than take the time to teach, which I know from past. Anyone you can take a little time to teach them and give them that responsibility, you just freed up yourself. So I'm a work in progress here.
I think we all are.
Absolutely.
You just mentioned your son a little bit ago, and he is really big into gymnastics. So that's just another whole part of your life. And you are just keeping all of that. First of all, I'm in awe of how you have just balanced all of this. And because I see you are constantly out with him at, what are they called?
Well, he's at competitions. Yeah.
Competitions.
We have competitions. Yeah.
Yes. And you're flipping houses and you're running a business. And so, my gosh, and you just handle it. And then you always look beautiful on top of that. So first of all, I just admire you.
Thank you.
I admire you. So here is a question for you. So you've had a ton of success.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
I am waiting in anticipation on God to show me what is next. I've got things in the works. We're growing our business for sure. The remodel business is growing. I am anxious to take on a lot more Airbnbs. We have 2 that are almost ready. I have 1 in the works. So I'm excited to go into the Airbnb business and really see how that goes. Awesome. I am talking about we're looking at writing a book to help Christian business women know how to balance their life and their work so that they don't feel like they have to give up their dreams until the kids leave home, that there is a way to make these things happen. So I have all kinds of things. And then one of the biggest things for me, Tresa, was, excuse me, I hit the microphone, was you asking me to be a coach. That was one of the biggest things. And so sometimes we find out just through happenstance things that we love. So coaching, I have found, brings joy to me, unlike any of the other things that I do. And I think it's because I get so excited to see the success of the others. And so I would say that coaching with the REIN is a big, big plus to the real estate investing education I got, and even just my whole business experience. So that is something I love and want to keep doing.
Well, that is what you brought to the table, is all of that past history. And you're just so delightful. I am so honored to have both of you amazing women as coaches for the Women's Real Estate Investors Network. You are truly making a difference in women's lives every single day by coaching them, helping them to estimate repairs, helping them with project management. And then Andrea has a whole business side that she's coaching them on. So I can't say enough, and I mean this with all of my heart, that both of you said yes. And you just jumped into not only investing, but you're like, I'm going to take my past wins, my past experiences, and bring those into the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and changing women's lives.
Absolutely. And Andrea's made a big difference in my life too. She knows about the clarity she's helped bring into my life. So yeah, I'm a big Andrea fan too.
Well, I'm a Gigi fan for sure. And since you bring that up, Gigi and I have been in a mastermind group together. We got connected through the Women's Real Estate Investors Network. Gigi, would you just share for a moment, how has being a part of a mastermind group had an impact on your success this past year?
Sure. One of the things I would say is not doing this alone. Mm-hmm. Sometimes women can find out being a business owner can be a lonely place. Yes. Because if you have a team around you and they're your employees, it's not quite the same as just colleagues doing the same thing. And so the mastermind has given me women doing the exact same thing I am, but maybe all in different ways. So we're all teaching one another, learning from one another, and we're sharing our struggles and challenges. And when we're maybe down, someone else is up and they're there to jump in and help us. Someone else has experience in things that maybe I don't have. And so they can help me with their experience. And then I can add value with my experience. That's what the mastermind is all about. And it has been a huge impact this last year for me.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the most magical things was all of us having that common base of knowledge, that specialized knowledge that we got from our mentorship with Tresa. And then all of us being able to then say, okay, now how do we take this thing next level, and being able to learn from each other and people who are taking action and coming alongside each other just to be a daily support system.
And it's amazing, Gigi, right?
Oh yeah. Amazing support. I think what you said about, not trying to do this alone. There's so many women that are entrepreneurs and they're doing amazing things, but they're desperately lonely while they do it. Yeah. And it is so hard to stay motivated and encouraged unless you're a part of a network, unless you're a part of, a way to build one-to-one relationships with other women who understand your struggles and are cheering for you. And finding other women to cheer for you can be a real hard thing in today's world. So I'm so grateful for Tresa, what you've put together in the network, and making those connections happen for us. Because what I always tell people is that your energy attracts like energy. And so we find a very common spirit and a thread that goes through everybody in our group. And it's just been such an incredible thing to be a part of. So I want to thank you, Tresa, for bringing us all together.
Well, I am absolutely honored. I'm still just blown away at the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and the women, like that you're talking about, how they've just connected. You don't see ugliness and jealousy and all of that. They're so encouraging, so inspiring, helping each other go to the next level. I am so proud of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and the women in the network.
Well, Gigi, I love everything you shared with us today. And we always like to ask our guests for 3 takeaways. So what 3 things would you advise an investor or entrepreneur who's looking to be brave and grow, or is maybe feeling stuck where they are?
Okay, I really think clarity is the thing that they need to be trying to gain. If you don't know what you want and you don't know where you want to go, it's very difficult to get unstuck because you don't know which way to start. So if you can get clarity, and there are ways to get clarity. You taught me how to get clarity. There are masterminds, there are courses, there are things you can just watch on YouTube. There are books to read that help you get to that. And once you get that, then I think that's the beginning.
Awesome. So clarity, anything else you want to leave us today? Any other takeaways?
Well, the second one is invest in yourself. Don't be scared to invest in yourself. I don't care if it's financially, but also your time and your energy. We tend to give all of those things to other people, our time, our money, and our energy. We as women need to learn how to invest those things in ourselves, and then we'll have so much more to give all of those other people, especially our family. Yep. And then the third thing is to surround yourself with like-minded people and level up to more successful people. If you need to, buy a seat at the table of a group of women that are where you want to go. And then when you get there, reach down and pick the next one up, give them that help them get to where, and then level up again. That's what I have tried to do. And that is what I'm really still learning to do. And is where I think my success comes from, learning from all the other more successful people.
And putting yourself in the room with the right people.
Yes.
Speaking my language. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Gigi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And on behalf of Tresa, Todd, and the Women's Real Estate Investors Network, we thank you. And this is Andrea Engstrom, and we are encouraging you to be brave and dream big.